Sign the divorce papers, or I'll make sure you never see your kids again." My wife's new boyfriend said it calmly, like he enjoyed watching my hand shake. He tossed the pen at me and smirked. "You're done." I let out a small laugh. 20 years as a military husband taught me that loud men panic when they lose control. He stepped closer when I didn't react. When he reached for his weapon, he made a fatal mistake. But before I begin, please like and subscribe to the channel. And we'd love to hear which part of the world are you joining us from. Let us know. Now, let's dive into today's story. Cole Harrigan pressed his thumb against the ridges of his house key, studying the front door like it was a checkpoint he'd never cleared before. 22 years in the U.S. Army had taught him to read a situation before stepping into it. The porch light was on. That was normal. The recycling bin sat by the garage, half full of wine bottles. That wasn't. He pushed the door open. The house smelled different. Not bad, just unfamiliar. Something floral he didn't recognize. Vanessa had rearranged the living room. The couch faced a different wall now. Photos of the kids had been moved from the mantel to a side table, smaller frames replacing the ones he remembered. "Dad!" His daughter Emma came flying down the stairs, 10 years old and all elbows and energy. She crashed into him, and Cole wrapped his arms around her, breathing in the strawberry scent of her shampoo. "Real. Solid. Home. Hey, sweetheart." His voice came out rougher than he intended. "You're really back?" She pulled away to look up at him, her eyes, Vanessa's eyes, searching his face. "I'm really back." His son Tyler appeared at the top of the stairs, 13 and trying to act too cool to run. But Cole saw the relief in the kid's shoulders, the way he took the steps two at a time, despite himself. "Hey, Dad." "Hey, Ty." They shook hands. Tyler's grip was stronger than Cole remembered. The boy had grown 3 inches since the last video call. "Where's your mom?" "Grocery store," Emma said. "She said she'd be back by 6. Cole checked his watch. 5:45. He moved toward the kitchen, the kids trailing behind him, both talking at once about school and sports and a camping trip they wanted to take. He listened, really listened, the way he'd trained himself to during those short calls from overseas when every word mattered. The kitchen counter held a stack of mail. Cole flipped through it without touching anything else. Bills. Junk. A credit card statement addressed to Vanessa with a balance he didn't recognize. He made a mental note and kept moving. Tyler was explaining something about his basketball team when headlights swept across the front window. Vanessa came through the door carrying 2 grocery bags. Her blonde hair pulled back in a ponytail that made her look younger than 38. She froze when she saw him. "Cole, you're early." Flight landed on time. He took the bags from her hands, set them on the counter. "Need help with the rest?" "There's one more." She didn't meet his eyes when she said it. "Tyler, can you grab it?" The boy jogged outside. Emma had gone quiet, her gaze bouncing between her parents like she was watching a tennis match. "Why don't you go finish your homework, Em?" Vanessa's voice had an edge Cole hadn't heard before. Not quite sharp, but getting there. Emma hesitated, then nodded and disappeared upstairs. Vanessa started unpacking groceries. Cole watched her hands, quick, efficient movements that seemed designed to fill silence. She'd painted her nails. Dark red. She never used to paint her nails. "How was the flight?" she asked. "Long. You look tired." "I'm tired." She opened the refrigerator, rearranged items to make space. Her phone buzzed on the counter. Once, twice, 3 times. She glanced at it, then back at the groceries. "You gonna get that?" Cole asked. "It's just work stuff. On a Tuesday night, project deadline." She closed the refrigerator harder than necessary. "I told you about it." She hadn't. Cole had read every email, listened to every voicemail. No mention of any project deadline. Tyler came back in with the last bag. The kid sent something because he made himself scarce immediately, mumbling about homework and taking the stairs 2 at a time again. Cole and Vanessa stood in the kitchen, 3 feet of tile floor between them that felt like a demilitarized zone. "We should talk," he said. "I know. Just not tonight, okay? You just got home. The kids are excited. Let's have a normal evening." Normal. The word tasted wrong in his mouth. "Tomorrow then," he said. "Tomorrow." She picked up her phone and left the kitchen. He heard her footsteps on the stairs, the click of their bedroom door closing. Cole finished unpacking the groceries. He noticed she'd bought the wrong bread. Whole wheat instead of the 7-grain Tyler liked. Small thing. Maybe meaningless. Maybe not. He'd learned in the army that small details told you everything you needed to know. The next 3 weeks unfolded like a recon mission in slow motion. Cole watched. He noted. He didn't confront. Vanessa's phone was always face down now. She'd added a passcode, 6 digits instead of the 4-digit one they'd shared for years. She showered at odd times, came home from work later than her schedule required, and twice he'd smelled cologne on her jacket. Not his brand. Something expensive and sharp. The kids felt it too. Emma got quieter. Tyler stayed in his room more. Cole maintained his routine. Wake at 0530. Coffee. Check the perimeter. Old habit. Useless in suburbia, but it kept him grounded. Make breakfast for the kids. Ask about their day. Be present. He'd called his old unit commander for advice about transitioning back to civilian life. The commander had been frank. Marriage is harder than deployment for some guys. You've been gone a long time. Things change. People change. Things had changed. People had changed. Cole just hadn't expected both to happen while he was clearing improvised explosive devices from supply routes. He was loading the dishwasher on a Thursday night when Vanessa came home with someone else. Cole, this is Raymond. Ray. From work. The man who walked into Cole's kitchen was tall, maybe 6'2", with styled hair and a suit that cost more than Cole's monthly housing allowance. He had the kind of handshake that tried too hard, firm to the point of aggressive, held a second too long. Ray Klein. Good to meet you, man. The guy's smile showed too many teeth. Vanessa talks about you all the time. That right. Cole wiped his hands on a dish towel, maintained eye contact. Yeah, man. Military, huh? That's intense. I could never do it. Too much structure for me. Ray laughed like he'd made a joke. I need my freedom, you know? Vanessa was putting distance between them, organizing papers on the counter that didn't need organizing. Ray's helping me with a presentation, she said. We're pitching to a client tomorrow. At 8 o'clock at night. Last-minute changes. Her voice had that edge again. We won't be long. Ray moved toward the coffee maker like he'd done it before. Helped himself to a mug from the cabinet. Knew which one was the sugar bowl. Cole filed that away, too. They worked at the dining room table for an hour. Cole stayed in the living room, ostensibly reading a book, actually listening. Their voices were low, but not quiet enough. Ray laughed too loud at things that weren't funny. Vanessa's responses came softer, almost playful. When Ray finally left, he clapped Cole on the shoulder. Nice meeting you, brother. Thank you for your service. Cole hated that phrase. Hated the casual intimacy of brother from someone who'd never worn a uniform. Hated the performative gratitude that meant nothing. He said nothing. After Ray's car pulled away, Vanessa started cleaning up the dining room. He seems friendly, Cole said. He's nice. Good at his job. How long have you worked together? 6 months. Maybe 7. She wasn't looking at him again. Why? Just asking. It sounds like you're interrogating me. I'm asking about your coworker. No, you're implying something. She faced him now, arms crossed. I don't appreciate it. Cole stayed calm. His pulse didn't rise. That was the training. When everyone else escalated, you stayed level. I didn't imply anything, he said. I asked a question. With a tone. What tone? The suspicious one. The one that makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong when I'm just trying to do my job. She left the room. He heard the bedroom door close again, harder this time. Emma appeared at the top of the stairs in her pajamas. Are you guys fighting? No, sweetheart. Just talking. Go back to bed. It sounded like fighting. Cole climbed the stairs, tucked her in, assured her everything was fine. She didn't look convinced, but she was 10 and had school in the morning, and kids needed sleep more than they needed truth sometimes. Tyler was still awake, light showing under his door. Cole knocked. Yeah. He pushed the door open. Tyler was at his desk, textbook open, pencil in hand. You okay, Ty? I'm fine. You sure? The boy turned in his chair. Is Mom seeing that guy? Cole felt something shift in his chest. Not surprise. He'd suspected for weeks. But hearing his 13-year-old son say it out loud made it real in a way surveillance and observation couldn't. What makes you ask that? He's here a lot. and she acts different when he's around. Tyler's jaw tightened, making him look older than 13. I'm not stupid, Dad. No, you're not stupid. So is she. Cole sat on the edge of Tyler's bed. I don't know yet, but I'm paying attention. And whatever's going on, you and Emma are my priority. Understand? Tyler nodded. Are you going to leave again? No. I'm home now. I'm staying home. Promise. Promise. That seemed to settle something in the kid. He went back to his homework, and Cole left him alone. Downstairs, he double-checked the locks, turned off the lights. Through the living room window, he could see the quiet street, the neighbor's porch light, the peaceful suburban darkness that felt nothing like the darkness he'd known overseas. But Cole understood something most people didn't. Danger didn't need deserts or checkpoints to exist. It could walk into your kitchen wearing an expensive suit and a smile. He went to bed in the guest room. Vanessa didn't ask why. Ray started showing up more often, always with an excuse. Forgot his laptop, needed to grab some files, had a quick question about the project. Each time he stayed longer. Each time he acted more comfortable. Cole noticed how Ray positioned himself, always between Cole and Vanessa, claiming the physical space. How he touched her arm when making a point, casual but deliberate. How his eyes followed her when she left the room. 2 weeks after their first meeting, Cole came home from a job interview. Logistics coordinator at a transportation company, decent pay, normal hours, and found Ray's car in the driveway. Middle of the afternoon. Kid still at school. He walked into the front door. Vanessa and Ray were in the living room. Not touching, but close. Too close. They separated when they heard him. Cole. Vanessa's face flushed. You're home early. Interview was shorter than expected. He set his keys on the entry table, eyes on Ray. Didn't know you were working from home today. We're not. Working. I mean, we were finishing something, but she stumbled over the words, which told Cole everything. Ray stood, hands in his pockets, that smile still in place. Actually, man, I was just leaving. Stay, Cole said. I need to talk to my wife. But you can wait. The smile flickered. I really should. I said wait. Something in Cole's voice stopped him. Not aggression, just certainty. The same tone he'd used giving orders to specialists and sergeants. The one that made it clear this wasn't a negotiation. Ray sat back down. Cole nodded toward the kitchen. Vanessa followed him, her footsteps reluctant. He kept his voice low. What's going on? Nothing. We were just. Don't lie to me. Not now. Not after 22 years. Her eyes welled up, but no tears fell. You've been gone, Cole. For months at a time, over and over. The kids needed me. I needed someone. Someone who wasn't deployed. Someone who was here. The words came out sharp, defensive. You chose the army. I chose to serve my country. I chose to provide for this family. You chose to leave. The accusation hung between them like smoke from a distant fire. Cole took a breath. Is it physical? She looked away. Vanessa, is it physical? That's none of your. You're my wife. It's exactly my business. Was. Her voice dropped. Was your wife. I don't think we've really been married for years, Cole. Not in any way that matters. The words should have hurt more than they did. But Cole had been preparing for this, running scenarios in his head, planning for contingencies. The pain was there, but muted, processed. So what now, he asked. I don't know. I need time to figure things out. Time with him. Time to think. Cole nodded slowly. The kids stay with me. What? While you're figuring things out. The kids stay with me. Here. In their home. You can't just. I can. And I will. He met her eyes, held them. You want to leave, leave. But they're not going anywhere. Vanessa opened her mouth, closed it. She had no argument because she knew he was right. Knew that her choices, her betrayal, had consequences. Ray appeared in the kitchen doorway. Everything okay? Get out, Cole said without looking at him. Hey man, I think we should all just. Cole turned. This is my house. My family. And I'm telling you to leave. Now. Ray's jaw tightened. For a second, Cole thought the man might actually try something. Part of him almost hoped for it. But Ray was a talker, not a fighter. He grabbed his jacket from the dining room chair and headed for the door. I'll call you later, he said to Vanessa. She nodded. When the door closed, Cole spoke calmly. I want you to be honest with me about one thing. What? Does he know about the kids? Their routines? Their schedules? Why does that matter? Does he? Some. I talk about them. That needs to stop. I don't want him knowing anything about Emma and Tyler. Where they go, what they do, when they're here or not here. You're being paranoid. I'm being careful. There's a difference. Vanessa grabbed her purse from the counter. I need some air. I'll be back before the kids get home. She left. Cole stood in the kitchen, listening to her car start and pull away. Then he moved through the house, room by room, checking windows, testing locks. Old habits. Useful habits. In the living room, he noticed the security camera he'd installed 6 months ago, mounted near the bookshelf. Small, subtle, aimed at the front door and most of the living space. He'd set it up initially for peace of mind while deployed, a way to check on the kids, make sure they were safe. He hadn't checked the footage in weeks. Now he pulled out his phone, opened the app, scrolled back through the recordings. There was Ray, 3 days ago, kissing Vanessa in this very room. Her hands in his hair, his hands on her waist. There was Ray again. Last week. Longer kiss. More intimate. Cole watched without emotion. This was reconnaissance. Gathering intelligence. Confirming what he already knew. He saved the files to secure cloud storage. Locked his phone. The kids came home at 3:30, loud and alive, filling the house with noise and questions about dinner and homework help. Cole made spaghetti. Helped Emma with her math. Watched Tyler's basketball highlight reel from his last game. Vanessa came back at 7, eyes red but composed. They didn't speak. Didn't need to. The marriage was over. Cole just didn't know yet how ugly the ending would get. The threatening encounter came 2 weeks later, on a Wednesday evening, when Cole thought they'd reached some kind of fragile equilibrium. He'd been to the lawyer that afternoon. Filed papers. Started the process. The attorney, a sharp woman named Patricia Donovan who specialized in military family law, had been clear about his advantages. Stable employment now, documented deployment schedule, clean record primary caregiver role when stateside. Vanessa's affair would matter, especially with the video evidence. Just keep doing what you're doing, Patricia had said. Stay calm. Document everything. Don't engage with the other man. Let him make mistakes. Cole drove home planning dinner, thinking about Tyler's upcoming game, worrying about Emma's sudden reluctance to go to school. Normal father concerns. Normal life stuff. Ray's car was in the driveway. Cole parked on the street, walked up slowly. The front door was unlocked. He pushed it open and heard voices in the dining room. Vanessa's quiet and tense, and Ray's louder, more aggressive. Can't keep dragging this out, Ray was saying. You said you'd tell him. I did tell him. Then what's the problem? Sign the papers. End it. Cole appeared in the doorway. Ray stood near the dining table, arms crossed. Vanessa sat in one of the chairs, looking smaller than Cole had ever seen her. Where are the kids? Cole asked. Emma's at a friend's house. Tyler's at practice. Vanessa's voice shook slightly. Cole, we need to talk. We've talked. Ray stepped forward. No, man. We need to talk. Real talk. Adult conversation. Cole set his keys on the entry table, kept his body language neutral. This doesn't concern you. It absolutely concerns me. I'm with Vanessa now. I'm going to be in those kids' lives. So yeah, it concerns me. You're not going to be in my children's lives. That's not your call anymore. Cole felt the old calm settling into his bones. The one that came before convoys, before meetings with local officials who might or might not be allies, before any situation where control mattered more than emotion. Actually, Cole said, it is my call. I'm their father, and I've already filed for custody. Vanessa stood up fast. You what? Filed this afternoon. You'll get served tomorrow. You can't just. I can. I did. He looked at Ray, which is why this conversation doesn't concern you. This is between me and my wife about our children. Ray's face darkened. You think you can just come back here and control everything? You were gone, man. For years. You don't get to walk in and make demands. I'm not making demands. I'm protecting my kids. From what? From their mother being happy. From instability. From a man they don't know inserting himself into their lives before their parents' marriage is even legally over. You self-righteous. Ray stepped closer. You military types are all the same. Think you're better than everyone else. Cole didn't move. I think I'm their father. That's all that matters here. Vanessa was crying now, silent tears as she wiped away with shaking hands. Cole, please. We can work this out. We don't need lawyers and courts. Yeah, we do. He kept his eyes on Ray. Because this situation isn't stable. And my kids need stability. Ray laughed, but there was no humor in it. You want to talk about stability? Where were you when Tyler made the basketball team? When Emma got sick last spring? When Vanessa was handling everything alone? Serving my country? Hiding behind a uniform? The words were meant to provoke. Cole recognized the tactic. Escalate emotions, force a mistake, create an incident. He'd seen it in negotiations, in confrontations, in every situation where someone wanted leverage. He didn't take the bait. This conversation is over, Cole said. You need to leave. I'm not going anywhere. Then I'll call the police and have you removed. This is my house. My name is on the deed. You're trespassing. Ray pulled his phone from his pocket, but not to leave. He tapped the screen, held it up. See this? Text for Vanessa. Asking me to come over. Invited me here. So who's really trespassing, Cole? You're the one who doesn't belong anymore. Vanessa's voice cracked. Ray, stop. But Ray was past stopping. Cole could see it in his posture, the way his shoulders had squared, the vein pulsing in his neck. The man had been building to this, and now he'd found his moment. You need to accept something, Ray said, moving even closer. You need to accept when a mission's over. This marriage? Over. Your role here? Done. Time to move on. Cole studied him carefully. You ever serve? What? I asked if you ever served. Military service. You seem to know a lot about missions. Ray smirked. Didn't need to. Some of us were smart enough to build careers that actually matter. Right? Cole made another mental note. Then let me educate you on something. A mission isn't over until objectives achieved. And my objective here is making sure my kids are safe and stable. That objective isn't anywhere close to complete. Those aren't just your kids. They're not yours at all. The temperature in the room dropped. Ray's smirk vanished. You don't get to talk to me like that, Ray said quietly. In my house. Yeah, I do. This isn't your house anymore. Check the deed. Ray's hand moved. Fast. Sudden. He slammed his palm on the dining table, and the bang echoed through the room like a gunshot. Vanessa jumped. Cole didn't. You think you're in control? Ray's voice had risen now, all pretense of civility gone. You think just because you filed some papers you've won something? I promise you, man, you haven't won anything. Cole took a step back, creating distance, putting the table between them. I'm going to ask you one more time to leave. And I'm telling you one more time, I'm not going anywhere. Silence stretched out. 3 seconds. 5. 10. Then Ray reached under his jacket. Cole saw it happening in slow motion, the way training made everything sharp and clear. Ray's hand disappeared under the fabric, came back gripping something dark and metal. He didn't pull it all the way out, just showed enough. A handgun. Compact. Semi-automatic. Vanessa gasped. Ray's eyes locked on Cole's. Now who's in control? Cole's heart rate didn't spike. His breathing didn't change. This was what training did. It made terror into data. Gun. Concealed carry. Possibly loaded. Distance. 8 feet. Cover. Dining table. Exit behind him. Witness. Vanessa. And most importantly, camera. Still recording. Mounted on the living room shelf. Aimed at this exact spot. Put it down, Cole said. Voice level. No tremor. You're committing a serious crime. Ray laughed. Actually laughed. You think anyone will believe you? Combat veteran with PTSD threatens his wife and her new boyfriend? Yeah, I like how that plays out. Ray, please. Vanessa's voice came out strangled. Stay quiet, babe. I'm handling this. This isn't handling anything, Cole said. This is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Minimum 5 years in Minnesota. More if you actually point it. Keep talking, soldier. Let's see how tough you are when. Ray pulled the gun fully into view. Didn't point it. Just held it loose at his side. That changed everything. Cole's body shifted automatically, weight on his back foot, hands visible but ready, eyes tracking the weapon. Put it down. Make me. I won't have to. The police will. Ray's confidence flickered. What police? The ones my neighbor already called. Cole was guessing, but it was an informed guess. The Johnsons next door were retired, home most evenings, nosier than they needed to be. They'd know his car, would notice Ray's. Might have heard the shouting. Mrs. Johnson doesn't miss much. And you've been yelling for 5 minutes. It was a bluff, but worked. Ray glanced toward the window. Just a second. Just enough. Cole moved. Not reckless. Not wild. 22 years of training compressed into 3 seconds of control violence. He stepped left, closing distance at an angle. His hand shot out, palm striking Ray's wrist, forcing the gun up and away. Ray tried to pull back, but Cole was already inside his reach, using his body weight to drive Ray into the wall. The impact knocked air from Ray's lungs. Cole grabbed the gun hand with both of his now, twisted the wrist against its natural range of motion, and Ray's fingers spasmed open. The gun hit the floor with a heavy thud. "Don't move," Cole said, his forearm across Ray's throat. Not choking, just controlling. "Don't even breathe hard." Ray's eyes were wide, shocked. The tough guy act shattered completely. Vanessa was screaming something. Cole couldn't process the words. All his focus was on controlling the threat, maintaining dominance, ending the situation. He shifted his weight, pulled Ray away from the wall, and drove him face first to the floor. Knee in the back. Hands pinned. "Stay down. Get off me." Cole pressed harder. Not enough to injure. Just enough to eliminate options. "I said stay down." Somewhere outside, a siren wailed. Getting closer. Cole had been wrong about Mrs. Johnson calling, but he'd been right about the Johnsons noticing. Mr. Johnson was standing in the doorway now, phone in hand, face pale. "Police are coming," the old man said. "I called them when I heard the shouting." "Thank you, Bill." Cole's voice was steady. "Professional. Can you pick up that weapon? Carefully. Don't touch the trigger." Bill moved slowly, using a dish towel from the counter to grip the gun by the barrel. "Jesus Christ, Cole. Just hold on to it until the police arrive." "What happened?" "He threatened me." He pulled the gun. I defended myself. Ray didn't threaten anyone. Vanessa was sobbing now, hysterical. "Cole, let him up. You're hurting him." "I'm restraining him." "There's a difference." Red and blue lights flashed through the front windows. Car doors slammed. Footsteps pounded up the walkway. "Elk River Police. We got a call about a disturbance." "In here," Bill called out. "It's under control." 2 officers entered, hands on their holstered weapons, eyes scanning the scene. Cole recognized one of them, Officer Martinez, who'd done a school safety presentation at Emma's Elementary last year. "Mr. Harrigan," Martinez took in the situation. "What's going on?" Cole spoke calmly, clearly. "I came home to find this man in my house. We had a verbal altercation. He pulled a concealed weapon and threatened me. I disarmed him. My neighbor has the weapon." "That's not," Ray started. "Stay quiet," the second officer said. "We'll get your statement in a minute." Martinez looked at Bill. "Sir, where's the weapon?" Bill held up the towel-wrapped gun. "Here. I didn't touch it directly. Cole told me to pick it up with the towel." "Good. Set it down carefully. Right there on the counter." Bill complied. Martinez turned back to Cole. "You can let him up now. We've got him." Cole released Ray and stepped back, hands visible, palms open. The second officer helped Ray to his feet, then immediately moved him toward the wall, hands behind his back. "He assaulted me." Ray's voice was shaking now. "He attacked me without provocation. I want to press charges." "Is that weapon registered to you?" Martinez asked. Ray hesitated. It's for protection." "Do you have a permit to carry concealed in Minnesota?" Another hesitation. "I have a right to defend myself." "That's not what I asked. Do you have a permit?" "No." Martinez exchanged a look with his partner. "Then you're under arrest for carrying without a permit. And we'll be looking at possible assault charges depending on witness statements." "This is insane." "He's the one who." "You have the right to remain silent. I suggest you use it." The second officer cuffed Ray, read him his Miranda rights. Vanessa was still crying, now sinking into a dining room chair, face in her hands. Martinez pulled Cole aside. "You okay? Any injuries?" "I'm fine. Walk me through exactly what happened. Start from when you got home." Cole recounted everything, step by step. No emotion, just facts. Arrival time, conversation content, escalation points. Exact moment Ray showed the weapon. "Did he point it at you?" "Not directly, but he pulled it from concealment during a verbal confrontation in a threatening manner." That's assault with a deadly weapon. Martinez nodded. You know your law. I know enough. You said there was a verbal altercation. What about? Cole glanced at Vanessa. We're getting divorced. He's involved with my wife. I filed for custody this afternoon. He didn't take it well. He your wife's boyfriend? According to him. Martinez wrote everything down. Anyone else witness this? My neighbor heard the commotion. Called you. And Cole paused. There's a recording. What kind of recording? I have a security camera. Living room. It catches most of the dining room, too. Cole pointed to the small device on the shelf. It's been recording this whole time. The officer's eyebrows rose. You're telling me there's video of him pulling the gun? Everything. Full conversation. Full confrontation. We're going to need that footage. I can provide it right now. It's cloud-based. I can send you a link. Martinez called his partner over. Eric, Mr. Harrigan has video evidence. Camera recording. Eric looked at the camera, then at Ray, who'd gone very pale. Well, that changes things. They took Ray outside, put him in the back of the cruiser. Martinez stayed behind to collect Cole's statement and get access to the video. Cole pulled it up on his phone, showed him the relevant footage. The recording was perfect. Clear audio. Clear video. Ray's voice. Now who's in control? Ray's hand pulling the gun into view. Cole's calm commands to put it down. Martinez watched it twice. This is solid evidence, Mr. Harrigan. Really solid. Do you want to press charges? Absolutely. Assault with a deadly weapon. Carrying without a permit. Maybe menacing, depending on how the DEA wants to charge it. Martinez made notes. You'll need to come to the station tomorrow, give a formal statement. Bring a copy of this video. I'll be there first thing. The officer looked at Vanessa, who hadn't moved from her chair. Ma'am, we'll need your statement too. She didn't respond. Ma'am. Yes. Tomorrow. I'll come tomorrow. Martinez handed Cole a card. Call me if you think of anything else. And Mr. Harrigan, you showed a lot of restraint. A lot of guys would have handled this differently. Training, Cole said simply. After the police left, the house fell into heavy silence. Bill had gone home. The gun had been logged as evidence and removed. Ray was on his way to booking. Vanessa finally looked up. You set him up. Cole stared at her. What? You provoked him. You knew he'd react that way. You wanted this to happen. He pulled a gun in our house. Because you pushed him. Asked him to leave. Multiple times. He chose to escalate. He chose to bring a weapon into play. You recorded us. Her voice rose. You've been recording us this whole time. That's surveillance. That's controlling and paranoid, and that's evidence. Evidence that just protected me from a felony assault charge. Cole kept his voice level. He admitted the gun. He showed it. He threatened me with it. None of that is my fault. You could have de-escalated. I tried. He didn't want de-escalation. He wanted dominance. And now he's arrested. Now he's going to have a record. Now he's experiencing the consequences of his choices. Cole picked up his keys. I'm going to pick up the kids. When I get back, I need you to not be here. This is my house, too. Then we'll split time until the lawyers figure it out. But tonight, I need you gone. I need to talk to Tyler and Emma without you here contradicting everything I say. Vanessa stood. Then my kids, too, Cole. Then act like it. Act like a mother who wouldn't let a man pull a gun in the same house where her children sleep. He didn't mean. He pulled a gun, Vanessa. He threatened me. Those are facts. Stop making excuses. She grabbed her purse, her jacket, headed for the door, then stopped and turned back. I loved you, she said. I really did. But you left. You chose to leave, over and over. I chose to serve. You chose the army over us. Cole met her eyes. And you chose Ray over our vows. So I guess we're both living with our choices now. She left. Cole stood in the empty house, listening to her car start and drive away. Then he pulled out his phone and called the friend whose house Emma was supposedly at. Confirmed she was there. Safe. Happy. Oblivious. He texted Tyler's coach. Practice was running late. The kid would be another 30 minutes. Cole used the time to clean up. He righted the chair Ray had knocked over. Straightened the papers on the table. Checked every room. Made sure nothing else was disturbed. In the living room, he stopped at the camera, looked directly into the lens, and gave it a small nod. 22 years in the Army had taught him many things. One of them was that preparation beats reaction every single time. The courthouse smelled like floor polish and old coffee. Cole sat on a wooden bench outside Family Court Division 3, wearing his one good suit, the same one he'd worn to military ceremonies and promotion boards. His lawyer, Patricia Donovan, sat beside him reviewing notes on her tablet. Ray's plea deal went through yesterday, she said. 18 months, eligible for early release with good behavior. The DA wanted more, but the video sealed it. No way he fights that evidence. What about the gun charge? Concurrent sentencing. But he's designated as a violent offender now, which affects everything. Patricia looked up. And that affects your case. Vanessa allowed someone convicted of assault with a deadly weapon into the home where your children live. That's a serious problem for her. How serious? Serious enough that her attorney has been trying to settle all week. She knows custody will swing your way if we go to trial. Cole watched people move through the hallway. Lawyers with briefcases, families clustered in worried groups, court officers directing traffic. I don't want a settlement. I want full custody. Patricia set down her tablet. Cole, I understand your position, but full custody is rare in Minnesota unless there's abuse, neglect, or substance issues. The courts favor shared parenting, even when one parent endangered the children. She didn't endanger them directly. Ray never threatened the kids. He threatened their father, in their home, with a weapon. Cole's voice stayed level, but something cold moved beneath it. That's creating a dangerous environment. I agree, and we'll argue exactly that. But you need to prepare for the possibility of joint custody with a favorable split. Maybe 70-30, primary physical with you, limited visitation for her. Not good enough. It might have to be. Then we go to trial. We make her answer for every choice. Every lie. Every time she put him before them. Patricia studied him. You know this will hurt your kids too. Tyler and Emma will feel the fallout. They're already feeling it. Tyler asked me last week if Mom was coming back. Emma had a panic attack at school. They're not stable. They won't be stable until this is resolved. Resolve how you want it resolved. Resolve correctly. Cole met her eyes. I was gone a lot. I know that. But I was serving, I was providing, and every time I came home, I was present. She chose someone else while I was deployed. She brought him around the kids. She let it escalate to violence. Those are facts. I want the custody arrangement to reflect those facts. Patricia sighed. All right, we going hard. But Cole in there. She nodded toward the courtroom doors. You stay calm. No emotion. The judge needs to see you as stable, rational, focused on the children. I'm always calm. I've noticed. It's almost unsettling. It's training. Well, keep training. Vanessa's lawyer is going to paint you as controlling, emotionally distant, absent during critical years. They'll say you're using the custody battle to punish her for the affair. Am I? Are you? Cole considered the question honestly. I'm using the custody battle to protect my children. If that punishes her for her choices, that's a side effect, not the goal. Good answer. Say exactly that if asked. The courtroom doors opened. A bailiff stepped out. Harrigan versus Harrigan. Judge Paulson is ready. They stood. Cole straightened his tie, checked his cuffs. Old habits from military inspections, when appearance mattered as much as conduct. Inside, the courtroom was smaller than he'd expected. Wood-paneled walls, a raised bench for the judge, tables for opposing counsel. Vanessa sat at the far table with her attorney, a thin man in an expensive suit who looked like he spent more time in courtrooms than anywhere else. She didn't look at Cole when he entered. Judge Paulson was a woman in her late 50s, steel-gray hair, pulled back tight, reading glasses perched on her nose. She reviewed the file in front of her without expression. Please be seated. Her voice carried authority. This is a custody hearing for Tyler and Emma Harrigan, minor children of Cole and Vanessa Harrigan. I've reviewed the initial filings. This appears contentious. Yes, Your Honor, Patricia said. Your Honor, my client, Vanessa's lawyer started. I'll hear from Mr. Harrigan first. Judge Paulson looked at Cole. Mr. Harrigan, why are you seeking primary physical custody? Cole stood. Your Honor, I'm seeking primary custody because I believe it's in the best interest of my children's safety and stability. My wife engaged in an extramarital affair with a man who later assaulted me with a deadly weapon in our home. That man is now serving time for that assault. I don't believe my children should be in any environment where he might have access to them, and I don't trust my wife's judgment regarding their safety given her past choices. You believe she's an unfit mother? I believe she made choices that prioritized her relationship over their welfare. Judge Paulson made a note. And you recently returned from military deployment? Yes, Your Honor. I completed 22 years of service and returned home 4 months ago. I've since secured civilian employment and logistics. I maintain stable housing, and I've been the primary caregiver since my return. Ms. Donovan, what evidence are you presenting? Patricia stood. Your Honor, we have video evidence of the assault Mr. Harrigan referenced, demonstrating the volatile and dangerous nature of Ms. Harrigan's relationship with Raymond Klein. We also have testimony regarding Ms. Harrigan's emotional distance from the children, her prioritization of this relationship, and Mr. Harrigan's consistent parenting despite deployment schedules. The judge turned to Vanessa's attorney. Mr. Foster? Foster stood smooth and practiced. Your Honor, my client acknowledges mistakes in her personal life, but those mistakes don't reflect her capabilities as a mother. She has been a primary caregiver for these children for years, while Mr. Harrigan was deployed. She maintained a stable home, managed their education, their health care, their daily needs. The incident with Mr. Klein was regrettable, but it was not directed at the children, and Ms. Harrigan has ended that relationship. We're asking for joint custody with equal parenting time. Equal. Judge Paulson's eyebrow raised. Despite the assault was against Mr. Harrigan, not the children, and it occurred after Mr. Harrigan had already filed for custody during an emotionally charged confrontation. An emotionally charged confrontation that resulted in a felony conviction. Yes, Your Honor, but Mr. Klein acted alone. Ms. Harrigan had no knowledge he was armed. Judge Paulson looked at Vanessa directly. Ms. Harrigan, did you know Raymond Klein had a gun? Vanessa stood shakily. No, Your Honor. Did you know he didn't have a permit to carry? No. How long had you known him? Almost a year. He was a colleague. And when did the relationship become romantic? Vanessa's voice dropped. 8 months ago. While you were still married? Yes. And your husband was deployed? Yes, Your Honor. Did you tell your children about this relationship? I introduced Ray as a friend. But they knew he was more than a friend? Vanessa looked at her lawyer, who gave a small nod. Eventually, yes. They figured it out. Judge Paulson made more notes. I'd like to see this video evidence. Patricia connected her laptop to the courtroom's display. The footage played on a screen visible to everyone. Ray's voice, aggressive and threatening. Cole's voice, calm and controlled. The gun appearing. The confrontation. The takedown. The courtroom was silent when it finished. Judge Paulson removed her glasses. Ms. Harrigan, you were present for this entire incident. Yes, Your Honor. And you brought this man into your home, around your children, despite seeing this kind of behavior from him? He'd never acted like that before. But you'd seen him aggressive? Confrontational? Sometimes. When he was stressed. Did that concern you? Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. I didn't think he'd ever hurt anyone. He pulled a gun on your husband. I know. The tears spilled over now. I made terrible choices. I was lonely and angry, and I wasn't thinking clearly. But I love my children, Your Honor. I've always loved my children. I don't doubt that, Ms. Harrigan. But love and good judgment aren't always the same thing. The judge turned to Cole. Mr. Harrigan, what's your employment status? I work full-time as a logistics coordinator for Midwest Transport. Salary, benefits, consistent hours. I'm home by 5:30 every evening unless there's an emergency. And you've arranged childcare? My mother lives 20 minutes away. She's available for afternoons when needed. Tyler's old enough to watch Emma for short periods. And I'm establishing a routine that doesn't require extensive care arrangements. You have family support? Yes, Your Honor. My parents, my sister, my uncle who's local. Strong support system. Judge Paulson looked at both parties. Here's my concern. These children have experienced significant trauma. Their father's deployment, their mother's affair, a violent incident in their home, and now their parents' divorce. What they need most is stability and consistent parenting. Your Honor, Foster started. She held up a hand. I'm not finished. Ms. Harrigan, your judgment regarding romantic relationships has been seriously flawed. You brought a man into your children's lives who turned out to be dangerous. That's a problem. A significant problem. I ended it, Vanessa said. As soon as the arrest happened, I ended it completely. You ended it when the consequences became unavoidable. That's not the same as recognizing the problem beforehand. The judge shuffled papers. I'm granting temporary primary physical custody to Mr. Harrigan. Vanessa sobbed. Foster put a hand on her arm. Ms. Harrigan will have supervised visitation every other weekend, for hours each day, until she completes a parenting assessment and I see evidence of better judgment. We'll review this arrangement in 90 days. Your Honor, supervised visitation is excessive, Foster objected. Supervised visitation is appropriate when a parent has demonstrated poor judgment regarding the safety of the home environment. The supervisor can be a family member or professional service, but will be supervised until I'm satisfied that Ms. Harrigan can provide a safe space for these children. Judge Paulson looked at Cole. Mr. Harrigan, you're responsible for ensuring the children maintain a relationship with their mother. No parental alienation. No interference with scheduled visits. Understood, Your Honor. I'll also order family counseling for all four of you. The children need support processing this transition. Yes, Your Honor. We'll reconvene in 90 days for review. Until then, this custody arrangement stands. She banged her gavel. We're adjourned. Patricia gathered her materials quickly. That went better than expected. She got supervised visits, Cole said. I wanted none. Supervised visits are effectively none. She'll hate it. Most parents find it humiliating. Good. They left the courtroom. Vanessa and Foster were still inside, Vanessa crying into her hands. Cole didn't look back. Outside, the October sun felt too bright. Patricia shook his hand. I'll file the formal order by tomorrow. You get copies. Make sure you document everything. Drop-off times, any missed visits, any communication from her. I will. And Cole, be careful. Some people get desperate when they lose custody. If she reaches out, if she tries to negotiate privately, loop me in immediately. She won't negotiate with me. How do you know? Because she knows I'm done negotiating. Patricia studied him for a long moment. You're a hard man, Cole Harrigan. I'm a protective father. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive. She left. Cole walked to his car, parked in the public lot 3 blocks away. His phone buzzed, a text from his mother. How did it go? He typed back, primary custody. Supervised visits for her. Review in 90 days. Thank God. The kids are excited you're picking them up today. Emma wants pizza. Pizza it is. He drove to his parents' house, where Tyler and Emma had been staying during the hearing. They ran out when they saw his car. Emma first, Tyler trying to act cool, but moving almost as fast. Did you win, Dad? Emma grabbed his hand. Cole knelt down to her level. I didn't win, sweetheart. There's no winning in situations like this. But the judge decided you'll live with me for now, and you'll see Mom on scheduled visits. Does that mean we don't have to move? That's exactly what it means. She hugged him hard. Tyler hung back, hands in his pockets. You okay, Ty? The boy shrugged. Is Mom okay? She's upset, but she'll be okay. Did she cry? Yeah. Tyler looked away. She chose that guy over us. And now she's crying. It's complicated. No, it's not. Tyler's voice hardened, sounding older than 13. She cheated. She brought him around us. He pulled a gun. That's not complicated, Dad. That's just wrong. Cole stood, put a hand on his son's shoulder. You're right. It is wrong. But she's still your mom, and you'll still see her. Do I have to? For now, yeah. Judge's orders. What if I don't want to? We'll talk about it when you're older. Right now, we follow what the court says. Tyler didn't argue, but Cole could see the anger simmering beneath the surface. The kid would need therapy. They all would. Emma tugged his hand. Can we get pizza now? Absolutely. Go thank Grandma for watching you, then we'll go. They piled into the car. 20 minutes later, Emma chattering about school and friends and a birthday party she'd been invited to, Tyler silent in the back seat with his headphones on. Cole drove to the pizza place they'd always gone to, Lou's, with the checkered tablecloths and the arcade games in the back. Normal. Familiar. Safe. While they waited for their order, Emma went to play skee ball. Tyler stayed at the table, still silent. Talk to me, Ty. The boy pulled off his headphones. About what? About how you're feeling. I'm fine. You're not fine. None of us are fine. And that's okay. Tyler picked at a napkin, shredding it into strips. Mom texted me yesterday. Said she was sorry. Said she still loved us. She does love you. Then why did she do it? Cole took a breath. This was the question he'd been dreading, the one with no good answer. People make mistakes, Ty. Sometimes big ones. Your mom was lonely while I was deployed. She made bad choices. That doesn't mean she doesn't love you. But she hurt you. She hurt all of us. Yeah, she did. So why should we forgive her? Cole met his son's eyes, Vanessa's eyes, that same blue-green that used to make his heart skip. I'm not asking you to forgive her right now. I'm just asking you to be a kid. Let the adults handle the adult problems. You focus on school and basketball and being 13. That's not how it works, Dad. I can't just forget what happened. I'm not asking you to forget. I'm asking you to not let it define you. Tyler was quiet for a long moment. Then, are you okay? The question surprised Cole. I'm managing. You don't seem mad. You seem, I don't know. Cole, I'm focused. There's a difference. It doesn't seem like there's a difference. Maybe the kid was right. Maybe Cole had gone too cold, too controlled, too locked into mission mode. But he couldn't afford to break down. Not now. Not when Tyler and Emma needed him stable. I'm here, Ty. I'm present. I'm not going anywhere. That's what matters. The boy nodded slowly. Okay. Their pizza arrived. Emma came running back, victorious with a handful of tickets from the arcade. They ate together, all three of them, in the restaurant booth that felt like an island of normal in a sea of chaos. When they got home, Cole tucked Emma in, read her 2 chapters of the book they'd been working through, some fantasy thing with dragons and magic that she loved. She fell asleep halfway through chapter 2, curled up with her stuffed rabbit. Tyler was still awake when Cole checked on him. Dad, yeah. Thanks for fighting for us. Cole's throat tightened. Always, buddy. Always. He left Tyler's door cracked, made his rounds checking locks and windows, then sat in the quiet kitchen with a glass of water and his phone. One new message. From Vanessa. Can we talk? Please? He stared at the message for a long time. Then he deleted it. 6 months later, Cole stood in his backyard, flipping burgers on the grill while Emma and Tyler played basketball in the driveway. The May evening was warm, almost summer, with that golden light that made everything look softer than it was. The custody review had come and gone. Judge Paulson had made the temporary arrangement permanent after Vanessa missed 2 supervised visits and showed up late for 3 others. The supervised requirement had been dropped. Vanessa now had standard visitation every other weekend, but she rarely used it. Tyler had been right. She'd cried, but she hadn't changed. Ray had been released early, 6 weeks ago. Cole had received the notification from the Department of Corrections, along with information about the restraining order that prohibited Ray from coming within 500 feet of Cole or his children. Ray had moved to Wisconsin. Last Cole heard, he'd gotten a job selling insurance. Vanessa had moved into an apartment in Minneapolis, closer to her work. She called the kids every few days, asked about school and activities, made promises about visits she sometimes kept and sometimes didn't. Emma had stopped asking when Mom was coming. Tyler had started talking to his school counselor about his anger, working through it in ways that didn't involve shutting down or lashing out. And Cole had learned to breathe again. Not easily, not without effort, but he found a rhythm. Work, kids, routine, sleep. Some weekends his sister took the kids, so he could have time to himself. Some evenings his mother came over to help with homework, so he could go to the gym and work out the tension that still lived in his shoulders. He'd started seeing someone, a therapist who specialized in veterans and family trauma. She'd helped him understand that his calm wasn't strength, it was survival. That eventually he'd need to feel the anger and grief he'd been managing like mission objectives. He wasn't there yet, but he was working toward it. The burgers were almost done when his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He considered ignoring it, then answered. Cole Harrigan. Mr. Harrigan, this is Officer Martinez. We met during the incident with Raymond Klein. Cole remembered. What can I do for you, officer? I wanted to give you a heads up. Ray Klein violated his restraining order yesterday. Showed up at your wife's apartment. She called it in. He was arrested again. Cole felt nothing. No satisfaction. No vindication. Just nothing. He okay? Cole asked. Physically, yeah. Legally, not so much. Violating a restraining order while on parole? He's going back, probably for the full remainder of his sentence, plus additional time. Good. I thought you want to know. Your restraining order is still active. If he contacts you in any way, call us immediately. I will. Thank you for the call. You take care, Mr. Harrigan. They hung up. Cole set the phone down, flipped the burgers one more time. Emma appeared at the back door. Are they ready yet? I'm starving. 2 more minutes, sweetheart. Tyler says he can eat 4 burgers. Tyler's delusional. That's what I said. She disappeared back inside, and Cole heard her and Tyler arguing about burger eating capacity, their voices loud and alive and normal. The evening stretched out ahead of him. Dinner, cleanup, maybe a movie if the kids could agree on one, bedtime routines, quiet hours after they slept when he'd read, or work on the house projects he'd been putting off. Small things. Normal things. The kind of life he'd fought for overseas and never quite found until he'd fought for it here, at home, in a different kind of war. Vanessa sent a text around 8:30. While they were watching a superhero movie neither Cole nor Tyler particularly liked, but Emma loved. I heard about Ray. Are you okay? Are the kids okay? Cole typed back. We're fine. I'm sorry this happened. It's not your fault he violated the restraining order. It feels like my fault. All of it. Cole stared at the message, considered responding with something harsh, something true, something that would make her feel the full weight of her choices. Instead, he wrote, the kids are good. Tyler made honor roll. Emma won her science fair. They're adjusting. A long pause. Then, can I see them this weekend? You're scheduled for next weekend. I know, but I thought maybe I could switch. We stick to the schedule, Vanessa. Consistency matters. Another pause. Then you're right. I'll see them next weekend. Tell them I love them. You can tell them yourself when you call tomorrow. He put the phone away. Emma was absorbed in the movie. Tyler was half asleep on the couch. Normal. Safe. Stable. Everything Cole had promised them. Everything he'd fought to build. The house wasn't perfect. The family was fractured. The marriage had ended badly, and the scars would last. But the chaos was gone. The threat was removed. His children were home. And for a soldier who'd spent 22 years learning to create order from confusion, to find peace in preparation, to protect what mattered most, that was enough. That was victory, not the kind with medals or ceremonies, not the kind anyone would write about or remember, just the quiet kind, the kind that happened in backyards with burgers on the grill and kids arguing about movies and routines that held steady even when everything else fell apart. Cole sat back in his chair, watched the movie he wasn't really watching, listened to his children breathe and move and exist in the safety he'd built for them. Outside, the May evening darkened into night. The streetlights came on. Neighbors walked their dogs. Life continued, ordinary and unremarkable. Inside, Cole Harrigan finally allowed himself a moment of something that felt almost like peace.